In today's video, I will show you the 4 best defenders for beginners in Year 9 Season 3 of Rainbow Six Siege. I will not only show you who they are, but also on how to play them. So if you want more of this content, be sure to subscribe to my channel to not miss any of my future videos. So now let's start with the video. But before I show you the first operator, I also sorted them by their in-game renown price. I know not everyone already has all the operators. I mean, how would you as a new beginner? There's over 70 operators to unlock, so now starting with the first one, Jäger. But what makes Jäger so good for beginners? First of all, you got an operator that places all of his utility in prep phase, so that you then can either run around the map and contest your enemy's entry points, or you go around and hunt their camps. He's a 2 armor 2 speed operator, which allows him to move around quite fast, but you also have the 2 armor, which allows you to tank 1, potentially 2 more bullets to get out of a bad situation than you would with a 3 speed operator. On top of that, he is also super versatile. The active defensive system, short the ADS, does its job no matter if you're playing close to site and close to the ADSs, or if you're already dead and on camps. You can use it to protect your teammates on site so that they don't get naded or not get killed by a fuse charge, or you simply take them with you to hold on a certain area of the map so that the attackers then cannot flash you out or nade you. So as a very quick example on how to use this gadget, so if your site is CC and cache, you will want to place down one of your ADSs right here on the red wall. So now that if they decide to flash from the drone hole, the breach, or even the window onto top red, the ADS will catch the flashbang, and you're gonna wanna put 2 ADSs right here on catwalk on second and on 90, so that if you or your teammates are playing right here on catwalk, they can't flash or get naded from the door or from right below us from the 2 breaches. And for the last point, it is his gun. The 416C is a very easy to control high damage weapon with 28 bullets in the magazine, and has a very versatile use case. It's good on any range, almost every scenario that you could think of. And with that combination, the 416C is a top tier weapon not only for beginners, but everyone, no matter if you're just starting out or an already experienced player with multiple thousands of hours. So in summary, Jäger really stands out due to his unique role in gameplay. The ability to influence the game's pace by slowing down your attackers because they cannot clear the shield, or his easy to play weapon, which makes him great for gunfights. So this is a very good operator, and his easy to play weapon, which makes him great for beginners. Next up, with our beginner friendly operators, we have Kapkan. Once again, you can use all of his ability in prep phase, which then allows you to again contest your enemy's entry points very early on. But what exactly makes this gadget, the EDD or entry denial device, so good? Unlike some operators whose gadgets require you to have some sort of coordination or some sort of setup, you simply just walk up to a door frame or to a window and press your gadget button. That's it, you have now done your job and you are free for the round. It also punishes common mistakes. Often you see players rush a certain part of the map or even OBJ without droning or checking their door frames, which then allows the EDDs to punish the behavior almost instantly. Depending on how many you placed on the same door frame, you might even send the attacker on flank camp duty. So you have quite a low risk and a high reward by playing him, as his gadget won't put you in direct danger, and it might even encourage you to play just a slightly bit more passive. And if you now pair his EDDs, his secondary gadget is E4, you can make a great roam. Simply just put your EDDs for sound cues. If you now hear one of them go off, you then know, oh, there is an enemy, let me quickly C4 him from below. Or if the enemy is on the same floor as you, you can then simply just rotate over, and because you know, oh, he ran into my trap, he has now reduced health, which then will give you a great advantage when it comes to entering the gunfight. Now that we spoke about his gadget, it's time to move on to his gun again. His primary weapon, the 9x19, well suited for beginners for quite a few reasons. Just like Jäger's weapon, it is low recoil and easy to control, it got a high fire rate and does a fair amount of damage. You also have a 30 round mag, unlike Jäger's 26 bullets, but unlike Jäger, you should mainly aim to use it on shorter to mid-range gunfights, as the weapon has quite a high damage drop-off. This combination supports you when learning core gameplay of the game without instantly overwhelming you as a new player, because we all know the game can be quite hard and frustrating to learn. And the third and second last defender is Frost. Now, while her gadget, the welcome mats, are fairly easy to place and set up, you now need to think of where to use them. But before I explain on how to, let me quickly break down why she's so good. She's got a fairly simple gadget once again, but you need to understand how to use them. Just like Kapkan, you can have an immediate impact when it punishes your enemies for being lazy. It also lets you control area that you and or your teammate can then play off. But why exactly did I point out that you need to know how to use the Frost mats? See, not too long ago, Frost mats would injure the attacker and then they would need a teammate to save them, as otherwise they simply would bleed out. But with the current state of Frost, that is no longer the case. If the attacker steps into one of your welcome mats, they can now self-revive. So now you always need to look out on where to place them. You should always place them in areas where you or your teammates are going to contest, so that in case someone's stepping into your frostbite, he instantly gets punished by getting finished off and sent to Franken duty. And also because of that, the frostbites encourage a safer and slower gameplay, as you will not be waddling around the map like a headless chicken. Her gun, which in all fairness sounds like a code you would enter to use a vault, 6PE41, is great. It has a very easy to control recoil, a high damage rate, and a good mag size. While the fire rate is on the low side of the spectrum, the damage will already compensate for it, and as a bonus you also have a secondary shotgun that you can use for setting up sight or super close range fights. These straightforward mechanics and the good gun make her ideal for you, so that you now get in the habit of playing around a certain area while not getting too over aggressive. And the last defender on the list is Lesion. In my opinion, he is great. But not just for beginners, but also experienced players. Also, he's currently one of my favorite operators. His goo mines are very straightforward, you can simply throw them on the floor, or you get a bit crazy and start stacking them. And they do damage not only when the attacker steps into them, but they also do damage over time. So this means that they will need to pull the needle out, but on top of that he also slows the attackers down, which makes them a very easy target, as the attacker simply can't get a chance of walking out of the building to pull the goo mine out. You can also place goo mines on default plants, just like I'm showing you right here, which then makes it so that the attacker needs to shoot the goo mine, and if he doesn't and then walks into the mine, he needs to pull the needle out before he's able to plant. So even if you aren't performing stats wise, you can still greatly benefit your team by simply providing a great value regardless of your daily performance. Also, he is a great roam operator. His gadget gives him sound cues on where your enemies are, and pair this up with his gun, the T5, which in my opinion is one of the best guns of the game, simply because it has a very high fire rate and a very low recoil, paired that with some decent to good aim, and this gun is gonna terrorize your enemies. That is also why it's so popular in pro play, so in my opinion Lesion is one of the must get operators because he is simply so strong. While a lot of people overlook his utility because of his great gun, you can really change the attacker's pace, which will then allow you to win the round in late game, or maybe even on a roam. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. It only takes a second and it helps me out massively. Write a comment down below on what you want to see next. Until the next video, bye!